And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome once again to Benedictine University Athletics. I'm Mark Vasko, and my old broadcast partner, Luke Stanczyk, in the booth for the first time this year. Good to see you, Luke.
Happy to be back for this beautiful Saturday afternoon here for this game against Wisconsin Lutheran.
Well, and glad to have the help because this begins game one of our triple header here today. And thankfully, it is a gorgeous day here at the sports complex. A little windy, but if that's all we have to complain about here, then that's just fine because there's sunshine, temperature in the low 60s. There is a breeze blowing across the field and in. Our last two games here, they've been blowing towards the trees. This time it's coming from the trees towards us here in the press box. But it's a triple header, all the games against Wisconsin Lutheran football, and then a soccer doubleheader to follow. Right now, the color guard is walking out into the middle of the field. We're going to have our national anthem. And then we'll get this one underway. Wisconsin Lutheran 0-1 in conference play. They're 1-3 overall, but don't really let that fool you. You know, we're 2-2, and this is our finally first conference game. But every one of their games have been close, and the first two of them went into overtime. One they lost and one that they won. So they've been competitive in every game so far. We'll get more into that, but right now with the color guard at midfield, it is indeed time for our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to today's game featuring the Wisconsin Lutheran College Warriors at your Benedictine University Eagles. Now, to lead us in prayer, Terry Roberts from Campus Ministry.
Let us pray. Today we remember all those who have died in this life conflict. May God bless them and keep them. Today we must fight for victory on the field and unite in victory over hatred. Amen.
Amen. At the same thing, we want to make sure that you're all standing. And please remove all hands as we honor America and the men and women who fight for our freedom today at home and abroad with the national anthem. This afternoon is being performed by a junior from Lincoln Way East, Summer Leakus.
Nice job with the anthem. Mentioned Wisconsin Lutheran, the Warriors, in their close games. They won their opener at Lake Forest in overtime, 38-37. Lost to Trinity International in overtime in week 2, 34-27. And their last two losses didn't go to overtime, but it was 17-12 to Trine and 15-13 to Lakeland. So they have had games go down to the last possession every time out, even though, again, they're just 1-3. And, of course, 0-1 in the league for BenU, finally getting their league action underway. And I was telling you before we started, Luke, that this team really came together offensively here last weekend, and over 500 yards of total offense, and really impressive defensively. They really put it all together, and I thought since, we were the only team to have a non-conference game and it was at night. Figured everybody was watching, online. I think we put on a show for the rest of the league, and let's see if that now, translates into conference games.
Yeah, I'm sure that probably scared some of the teams out there watching this new look BenU offense. You mentioned some of the position changes and how they did really well running the football. I take a look at what Lutheran has done this year. No surprise that they play a lot of close games. I feel like that's the case for them every year. All their games typically go down to the wire, it seems like. But they've really struggled against the run this year, allowing almost 215 yards per game on the ground. That's a pretty high number. So talk about a couple of the running backs we saw BenU break out last week, a couple of freshmen in Miles and Williams, Derek Miles and Josh Williams. So two kids I haven't seen before, being my first game back here in the boots. I'm excited to see those two and Ryan Sample. And again, taking a look at what Lutheran has done defensively this year, I think those two running backs could be in line for a pretty good game.
Well, we hope so. Again, BenU rolled over Kalamazoo 45-10 last weekend, had a 38-0 lead. Derek Miles, 102 yards and a score. 6 different Eagles scored touchdowns in that game. Josh Williams had a couple of TDs on the ground. Jared Lekis, his usual great job as a defensive back, returned his second interception for a touchdown this season alone. And again, led a defense that allowed just 3 points, and he had 8 tackles, did Lekis. So you saw him open in the flat, and it was like, oh, here he goes again, off to the races from their defensive score.
BenU brought out the All Blacks today, which they must have known I was coming, Mark, because I always said in the past that these are my favorite uniforms, on campus. So they must have known I was coming for the Coach Coop must have gotten word that I was coming back to visit and do the broadcast. So made it extra special for me, I guess. So throw the black jerseys on.
There you go. And it's Think Pink Day here all day. So we've got a lot of black socks, we've got purple.
Yeah, pink.
Think pink. I just said pink. Why didn't I just say it again? Pink numbers on our jerseys and pink socks. And so Breast Cancer Awareness Day here at the ballpark. And BenU will go right to left in front of you here as we take a look at things.
Let's take 2 guys back for a return. Actually, now they're going to switch some things up. Yes, two guys still going to be there. That's Fleming, number 1, one of the new players on this team, back to receive the punt.
Elijah Walker, a junior wide out the other.
Fleming, a guy who you told me before the game, someone who's really electric with the ball in his hand. So,
and he's got the electric neon green.
Yeah, he's going to be hard to miss out there.
No, it's him when he has the ball. And we are underway, but instead it goes to Walker, and he'll take it to the 20, to the high side 25, lower his head, and get close to the 30. And that's where we'll have our first possession of the day with Ryan Sample, our quarterback, 6 foot out of Mantino, 205 pounds. Eligibility-wise, just a sophomore.
Look at the numbers for him this year. They don't really jump off the page just yet, but I think once we get in the conference play or he gets more settled in, I think you're going to see him, based off of what everyone's told me, he's a guy who's going to put up some great numbers.
And he can also run well with it, too. Come out on first down with a couple of receivers here to the near side, plus a man in motion to that near side. And looking to go to the air underneath, going to be complete tight end, and about 4 yards or so on the first reception of the day for Jesse Kilborn.
That tight end flat play has been a staple in our offense for a long time. I think back to all the tight ends we've had here. Max Seibert the last few years, and before him, he had Brian Wiseman here back when I was a freshman or sophomore here on campus. And that's always been kind of a staple in our offense, the tight end going out to the flat, picking up some good, easy yards.
Now, this time around, we've got Jake Vallis as your wide out to the top. Luke Ludolph is the slot to the right. And it will be the handoff. Who tripped up is Miles trying to turn the corner, so not sure if he even got a yard. They're going to say no gain, 3rd down and about 5.
And Miles listed at 5'3" on the roster, and definitely a pretty tiny and elusive back. Kind of reminds me of Darren Sproles a little bit when I see him out there. Definitely excited to see him play.
And a great week last week. Josh Williams will take his place, the other freshman at 5'7".
You mentioned Ludolph had a great game last week. He's in the slot here once again.
He's been a quarterback, running back, and now a wide receiver for us. And again, showed great hands last time around. That's going to be Vallis, though, for a first down near midfield.
That was a great play design right there. You mentioned Fleming and how he's going to have the attention a lot. You saw him go out to the flat. Take a look at the replay here. Then they run the slant, and you see the guy, one of the linebackers, number 34, they're kind of shade toward Fleming, and that left Vallis wide open.
Talking about their senior linebacker, Jordan Miller, for Wisconsin Lutheran. Number 20 for them made the tackle, Dakota Eland, a senior DB. But first down, Eagles at the 49. But again, after the great running attack and passing attack now, team's not really sure what the Eagles are going to do. Handoff up the middle, and good.
Pushed a pile.
Yeah, good leg drive, got about 4 yards. I mean, of course, back in the day of the Borsalinos,
yeah,
you pretty much knew we were a run-first ball club, but that's not really the case now, although we still can run.
Yeah, this was running back U the last couple of seasons, Borsellino, then he went to McNulty and Artie Monaco the last few years. So, interesting to see now what kind of identity this offense starts to take on.
Well, and again, with Sample just a sophomore, and we've talked about it every week out, he graduated from Antino as the 14th leading passer in state history in total yardage. And he'll throw here over the middle, and it's just bouncing in front of Fleming. You could sort of see the nose of the football go down.
I don't like he had as good a grip on that one. And shotgun again on that play for BenU. I think we've gone shotgun almost every play on this drive. Definitely more shotgun than I've seen us use in the past.
Again, hit as he threw, which also affected it. Well, again, because you do have someone who can run so well, and this gives him a chance to see not only passing lanes but running lanes. And shotgun here on 3rd down and 5. Good protection, has plenty of time, throws, oh, great catch. And that's Ludolph, and that's a first down inside the 30.
That was a great play right there. You said plenty of time. He had time to read the newspaper back there. Take a look at this job by the line. Number 79 right there, Krabaum. It looks like he took on 2 guys to block them both, and great catch by Ludolph.
In traffic, too, and aid to thread the needle. And then the grab and the nice run after catch. He ran away from the man who had him in a grasp. 26-yard line, first down. So a couple of 3rd down conversions early.
4 wide again here.
Lopez is the slot man to the right. And he's going to get it. And makes the first man miss. Nice job by Lopez to get about 3 yards. He could have lost about 3.
That looked like that was going to be a play set for doom there. Number 20, Dakota Eland for Lutheran. Looked like he was all over it. And Lopez just making a miss.
Well, again, I had mentioned him because we know he's one of the main cogs for this offense, and he hadn't touched it yet. Sure enough, they called his number right as I mentioned him, and makes a nice play. 2nd down and about 7. This time Lopez will be the wide out to the near side. Kilborn in motion. Hand it off, Miles, and not a lot there this time. Oh, but look at that leg drive and that pile drive. They finally get the whistle. Looked like everything was stopped up, and that's close to a first down.
Yeah, he got really close to the mark. It looks like he was almost up to the line of scrimmage there. Barely gets past it, and then all of a sudden you see him keep driving. That's a good 4 or 5 yards extra right there. The pile pushed.
That's really impressive stuff. Well, and he had a great run like that last week where he disappeared in the pile, and there was this huge scrum, and then one guy shot out of the front of the pile, and it was him. And everybody else was standing still, and he shot through. He went from one end of the pile to the other and out. 3rd down and 2. I formation. Kilborn, the tight end, has been the front man in the eye quite a bit here this year as the blocking back. Throwing on the run, wide open is Kilborn. He'll make the catch, and that's going to be 1st and goal, BenU.
Another good job by the offensive line. Gave him time to roll out. And we talked about it earlier, those tight end routes to the flat. There he's coming out as the H-back, but something BenU really likes to use a lot. Nice shot by the guard to pull, come out there and make that block.
Beautiful play. Beautiful opening drive.
Yeah, this BenU offense has not had much trouble moving the football here to start this game off.
Shotgun again.
And Ludolf in the slot, got some height there.
Hand off. Can he turn the corner? And cannot really do so. As Williams that time.
That was good discipline on defense there by the Warriors. You saw him, a lot of times you see someone try to come up, make a play on that there. They kind of just forced him to the sideline. Whenever someone comes up, tries to shoot the gap too early, it'll create an opening. That time, good discipline by the Warriors.
Well, flag was on BenU, so that'll push him back.
It's a 15-yard penalty there. It's going to present a new challenge to this offense. We haven't seen him tested yet thus far. Not sure what the call was. And I was too busy talking away, so it's partially my fault for that one. But it sets him all the way back here at the 23.
Yeah, both you and I both heard them say 15 yards, but didn't say what the call was. But, well, regardless, as you say. And they get close to the end zone here. Quarterback calls his own number and gets some of that back. Gets inside the 20.
That's a good play call. You're not really expecting a quarterback run with it being first and such a long way to go, but that makes it a little bit more manageable for you.
Sample actually came in as our leading rusher as well as our leading passer, but with Miles really establishing himself along with Williams last week, I don't think that's going to last very long.
That going from the shotgun once again here. Got 3 wide. Ludolf in the slot as well.
Throwing into the end zone, touchdown, Lopez.
And the quarterback draw, talked about how it was going to make it more manageable for you. And then they had Lopez out there trying to cover him on an island. He's not an easy guy to cover all by yourself. He's got so much speed, and nice job on the slant to get in front of the defender, make himself open.
That was a perfectly thrown pass. That was right in the numbers, right in stride. And now PAT for Jose Santiago. We've had some troubles with the PATs so far this year. See what Jose can do to get us started. But successful start to this football game, to say the least. And that one looks good, and it is. So 7-0 with 8:39 to go in the first. BenU takes the opening kick and goes right down and scores. Let's watch it again. Boy, again, just perfectly timed.
Great timing on that, and as you said, what a great ball right there. He definitely throws a pretty ball, that's for sure. Definitely looks how he comes out free and easy. And he's a guy that I think is going to be, he's only a sophomore. I think he's a guy who's going to be doing a lot of stuff for us here at Benedictine.
And you think of all the quarterbacks there have been in the state of Illinois over the years. And he graduates 14th all-time. He's currently 20th all-time in passing yards in state history, a 3-year starter from Antino. He played his entire freshman year as a starting quarterback at Olivet Nazarene. And just didn't like it there, though. Decided to transfer. He went to a Division II school up in Minnesota and did not play it down. And obviously wasn't too thrilled with that. So then they wanted to come back closer to home. And Coach Cooper said, yes, please. And again, since he sat out all of last year, so again, eligibility-wise, just a sophomore, and thrilled to have him here.
Yeah, based off what we saw in that drive, pretty fortunate to have him here at Benedictine. Not sure why he didn't play very much, even though it was a Division II school, but he definitely looks like he's as good as advertised.
Well, the defense will get their first test, but first things first, we'll see about this kickoff with that breeze. Flags are standing pretty much straight up, blowing from the trees towards us, towards the near side, but this will go to the high side and roll all the way to the end zone. So nicely done there. So the opening kickoff on our side goes in.
Tell the return man there for Lutheran thought that was going to go out of bounds. He was content to let it roll and end up taking the friendly rolls off the turf.
So Stephen Mulcairn's our kicker. Gets the job done, 20-yard line.
Take a look at the quarterback for Wisconsin Lutheran. I believe it's Gino DeGeorge once again. Was their quarterback last season as well. 8 touchdowns, 8 interceptions on the year, 260 yards per game. Definitely a team that likes to throw the football a bit.
Shotgun for them as well. Shotgun handoff on first down, and look at that, hit in the backfield. Might even have lost a yard. Jared Brummer is their leading rusher, a junior.
I think there was McKechnie in there first. McKechnie leading the team in tackles this season for BenU. It's been an integral part of this defense for a long time. Now he's really become the main linebacker.
They do rely on the pass more than the run. Brummer leading them at 55 yards a game on the ground, and then it goes down to 39 yards a game for Josh Helton. They're going to throw it underneath after the fake handoff, and again, that did not go very far at all for Chris Norvalis, their junior wideout from Claremont, Florida.
Great play right there by Mason Bittner. You see him get blocked right away. He was able to shed it pretty quickly. Take a look at him. Able to just cut right through the block and make the tackle.
Bittner has had a great start to this season. He has been a key factor in every single game defensively.
And we've had a lot of great defensive backs here over the last couple of years. Bittner has had to kind of wait his turn to get some consistent playing time, and he's definitely not looking back with it.
3rd and 10. If we can create a 3-and-out. Steps up, throws underneath, and it's going to be incomplete. It was a forward pass, but out of reach out of the backfield, and indeed it is a 3-and-out.
Good job right there by BenU. Good job by DeGeorge to get himself out of the pocket, but great coverage downfield. The only play is a check down. That's what BenU wants them to do. Good job by defense to get off the field.
Trying to go to Brummer out of the backfield and just a little too high and not in his stride, so 4th down. Lopez back to receive this punt at about the 35-yard line. Got it away in a hurry, and Lopez will have time, though, and make the catch at the 32. Step forward, flag on the play, and he'll get to about the 41-yard line.
Flag's flying like crazy, so a couple out there now. Going to be great field position. Let's see if the flag, as it gets BenU, draws him back.
Well, it is going to be a hold, it appears, on Benedictine. Well, that's too bad.
The more, maybe it's just me not realizing it. They're calling number 53. That's Andrew Solis out there with the penalty. But the more I watch football, I feel like penalties on kick returns and punt returns are becoming more and more common. It seems like every single season you see high school, college, pro, no matter what it is, there's always more penalties on those punt return plays.
Well, it's those guys from the bench trying to contribute, make something happen, and sometimes a little over-aggression, I think, sometimes really hurts him. A little slant, going to be Vallis. Nice job to go down and get that. That's a completion.
Yeah, rare low throw from Sample, but Vallis doing a good job adjusting, making the catch, his second catch of the game already.
Vallis, the senior out of Conant, picked up about 8 yards. 2nd down and 2 at the 34. Vallis and Ludolf will be to the right side. You've got 2 receivers near side. And handoff to Miles, and well, just enough to get the 1st down. That's about it, but the 2 yards should be enough to move the chains.
Yeah, they're not even going to measure. They're going to move the chains already. Well, Miles definitely, he cannot be an easy guy to tackle. if you're an opposing linebacker, it's got to be hard to track, hard to see, and so elusive. It's like he just slips off of people.
So again, Vallis and Ludolf to the high side. This time you've got Lopez as the wide out near side. Tight end is your slot. Now he'll go in motion. And off again. And driving the pile forward. That time was Williams. He'll get about 4 yards.
It's interesting to see how Coach Doherty, the offensive coordinator, uses both these running backs. They seem like they have a pretty similar skill set. Williams is a bit bigger than Miles is, but skill-wise, it seems like they're not all that different.
And they'll almost come in for every other play. So keeps them fresh. As you say, they're pretty much the same kind of scat back type of player. 2nd down and 6. Look to throw. Tipped at the line and incomplete.
Great play by the defensive lineman. I believe that's number 91 making the tip. Jake Hennis, senior out of Michigan. And when you're a defensive lineman, you know the ball goes up. Everyone just put your hands up. You never know. It might be a low pass. You might get a hand on it just by accident.
Well, 3rd down in their own territory here for the Eagles. And the shotgun, the 2 receivers to either side. Walker, the wide out near side now. And he has time. Throws, coming back forward, complete. 1st down. BenU was Ludoff. Then the ball was stripped from him, and it looks like Lutheran will fall on it. Yep.
That was a good defensive play right there by Lutheran. Able to stand him up, get his arm in the right spot, be able to strip that. That was pretty impressive. Ludoff, guy who's a pretty big, strong kid. It takes some effort to strip the ball away from him.
Let's watch it here. He tried to spin away from the tackler and couldn't, and there goes the ball, and well, it's the turnover.
Number 19, Jake Engels, a senior. A lot of seniors on that Lutheran defense. Every name we've highlighted so far has been a senior.
Well, we've got so many freshmen and sophomores on our side. Shotgun from the BenU 44. Pump fake. Oh, and then it's knocked out of the hands and fallen on by BenU, and that should be a fumble recovery for the Eagles. I do not believe that was an incomplete pass. Knocked out of his hands before he could throw it.
Alex Parita says, tells the other DBs, anything you can do, I can do better. Just goes right up there. Nice job to get himself in the backfield. I don't think anybody picked him up. Had a clear path to the QB, just knocked it out of his hand.
What a great job to return the favor. And again, he brought the ball back, but the arm had not gone forward yet. And that's why that's a fumble and not an incomplete pass, and a big play by the Eagle defense.
Lutheran taking a lot of momentum on that strip, but then BenU takes one play, they take it all right back. Great field position.
Pump fake on our side. Sample throws. Go. Just through Lopez's hands. Nice job to come back for it, but he couldn't grab it.
I like the idea to take a deep shot downfield there after a turnover. You got all the momentum. I always like when teams try and do something like that, get themselves down in scoring range.
And this is our first game on the Lyle Public Access channel as well. Of course, live here online, and you try to play them back Mondays on the Lyle Cable Access channel. Last man through, and again, look at that leg drive by Miles to get about 4 yards out of that. A, it's tough to get a hold of him, and B, then try to stop him.
He never goes down right away. He never goes down on the first hit. He carries the guy with for a few yards, or it takes more than one guy to get there. He's one of those running backs who I think is never going to go down on the first point of contact.
It's actually about a 5-yard pickup. So 3rd down and 5 at the 27 of Wisconsin Lutheran.
Tell you, I don't think we track this in our conference, but I love to see the yards after contact statistic that he's going to have at the end of the year.
Again, good time to throw. Wide open, Lopez complete to the 10. Oh, slides around one man, but then just barely tripped up. 1st and goal at the 5.
Good poise in the pocket right there by Sample, and Lopez having one of his best games I've seen him have here at Benedictine. Seems like he's running wide open almost every play.
Just stuck that arm out at the last second was Emil Johnson, their junior DB out of Cicero, to make that touchdown-saving tackle, but 1st and goal. A lot of targets for Sample to choose from, but Lopez obviously off to a great start. Looking to throw after the fake handoff, and just over the outstretched arms of the tight end Kilborn.
Sample wanted a flag there. He saw him signaling for it. Not sure if he's going to get one. Good idea for BenU. This area of the field, the tight end's always such a weapon. the taller receiver with some athleticism can go up there and win those jump balls, and that's what Sample was trying to do there.
Big round of applause for Ernie Eagle.
2nd and goal from the 5.
Who doesn't love the big bird?
Yeah, there looked to be contact in that end zone there, but again, the I formation. Pitch out, Miles, and just sort of runs out of room there to the short side of the field.
And the Eagles not having a ton of success so far running from east to west. When they're going north to south, they're doing a lot better job moving the football. Seems like Lutheran's got a good handle on these types of plays.
Yet another 3rd down situation. We've had a bundle of those here early.
4 of 5 on 3rd down thus far. But the yardage is so far 130 for BenU. After that fumble, Lutheran's at negative 24.
Fakes the handoff, rolling. Lets it go. Ooh, again, just off of the fingertips of Kilborn, 4th down.
Well, you talk about weaving that through a tight window. That was a pretty gutsy throw right there. It was almost Brett Favre-like trying to roll out, make something happen. Man, not a lot of room to get that to. Almost was able to make the catch. It's a tough play.
Well, again, sort of throw across your body as well. Again, I think he really was thinking to run, but there was no room to run. It was like, well, now I have to find somewhere to throw. And did a good job just to get it close. Well, field goal, we haven't really kicked one yet. But this is not a long one, about a 22-yarder. See if Santiago can get it done. Looks good, and it is. So nice job by Kilborn to get us some points off of that turnover. And again, just great job by the defense after the offensive turnover to just get the ball right back.
And the defense making something happen. Again, the strip of the quarterback right there that got 24 yards off that play. Got themselves great field position. Just a long pass to Lopez got him downfield.
So very successful first quarter. 10-0 Eagles. 3:06 to go in the period.
Look at this offensively. Lopez, 3 catches for 44 yards and a touchdown already. And Lopez has been a guy who's been receiver for the team the last couple of years, but his playing time's kind of been here and there. He definitely looks like, this far of all the people that we've seen, to me, he's probably the most improved player we have on this team just based off of watching this first quarter of football. Always has had that good speed, that good elusiveness, but it looks like he's much more refined running his routes now. He's got a much better feel to get himself open. In the past years, he was kind of just more of a burner type guy, but now he seems like he's running a lot more of the route tree, which is great.
Getting set, see if we can get this one into the end zone like the last one with no return. Here comes the kick. Well, not this time, obviously, but pretty good field position here for the Warriors. Here late in the first. Now, again, for those watching live online here today, this is just the first of 3 games. We've got a soccer doubleheader to follow. The men's at 5, and then the women at 7:30. Wisconsin Lutheran, our foe here in all 3 games today.
Hey, he'll be burning the midnight oil today, that's for sure. Here for 3 broadcasts. All against the same opponent, too. You don't typically see that in college athletics. The same goal coming there for the entire day, a bunch of different sports playing.
Shotgun handoff up the middle, and a nice run there. And they pick up a first down across the 50, about 12 yards for Brummer there right up the gun.
Brummer listed at 5'8", 175. He sure didn't look like he was only 175 on that play. Guys bouncing off him like it was nothing.
Now they're going to go with no huddle and try to speed things up. They fake a handoff, throw into the right flat, but that's going to be incomplete to Chris Norvalis, the wide receiver.
I'm going to try and do something to get this BenU defense off guard. There's a bit of a new era defensively, new defensive coordinator here for the Eagles. Phil Kleckler was a linebackers coach before. But a lot of the same personnel is still here from the past years.
In trouble, looking downfield, and we'll just have to scamper to the sidelines and get a couple yards and run out of bounds. there for Gino DeGeorge. Of course, best of luck to Coach Schrader, who left us to be the head coach at Rockford, and he's done a nice job there already so far.
And they're 2-2 on the season. Played Aurora really tough last week, just lost by 7 or 8 points. And we both know from our time watching him here, he's definitely knows his defense. He's going to do a great job there at Rockford. I have no doubt in my mind.
3rd down and long. And hit as he lets it go, but it is going to be complete. They get a 1st down at about the BenU 32-yard line. Alex Foster, the junior wideout from Kenosha, on the receiving end.
Thought for a second that we were going to have another strip. You can see the defensive end bearing down on him there. Nice move. Hard to tell the number from our angle up here. Not sure who was the far end on that play, but good job to get in there. But a great job by DeGeorge to stand in the pocket and make that throw.
It is, by the way, Rockford's turn to play non-conference today. And we have the odd number of teams in our league. Throw underneath, partially deflected. Incomplete. Hope is leading Rockford 10-0 in the second. Aurora is trailing Concordia, Wisconsin 7-0 in the first. Lakeland already leading Concordia, Chicago 14-0 in their first quarter.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell so far where the conference is kind of going to separate, because all the teams seem like they're pretty similar. We won't get a good idea about that till conference play really gets underway here.
Yeah, a little delay draw there, and Brummer didn't go anywhere. That's going to be 3rd down and long. That's good defensive play up the middle.
Nice play by the BenU defense. Danny Drummond with the tackle. Had a great year last year as a freshman for this team, following his brother's footsteps, who was an offensive lineman.
Yep, Nico Palawala was there as well. Yeah, Drummond's having a really good year. 3rd and 11. Over the middle, and they will thread the needle, pick up the 1st down. Lekes on the tackle, but that'll be a 1st down yardage for their tight end, Brad Nimitz from Denmark, Wisconsin.
That was a pretty creative play call. You saw Mitch Scarbon, their leading receiver, number 10, come in motion and go run a route kind of through the line. That kind of caught everyone's attention, and then they had the tight end come right through there, make the catch, trailing him.
Our thanks, as always, to the guys from Sunrise coming out to give us the great coverage with the cameras and replays and things. They're going to be out here all day to help us out today, thank goodness.
It's excited to see Frank here today.
So on 1st down, quarterback will call his own number and threads his way through to the inside the 10-yard line. So pretty run there by DeGeorge.
I was disappointed. No Glenn. Glenn's not here today. He must have heard I was coming. Stayed home. He said, "I don't want to see this Luke kid here around here anymore."
Well, see, the problem is
it's actually his birthday. So happy birthday, Glenn.
They've done too good a job around here. Now they've got other clients to do. So now they're spreading them thin. 2nd down and a yard, but that'll be it for the period. So we'll have to switch sides of the field to see if the defense can come up and stop them from scoring. But at the end of one, BenU has a 10-0 lead, but still pretty impressive start here for the Eagles.
Hey, you got to be happy if you're Coach Cooper. I mean, you're trying to get a stop here and keep him off the scoreboard, but this team has done such a great job on both ends of the football here. Just 20 total yards for Lutheran through one quarter, 130 for Benedictine. On pace to have over 500 yards, I believe. So they're doing such a really good job out there, really on both ends.
So flip sides of the field. By the way, our volleyball team, our women's volleyball team, on the road today against MSOE, and our volleyball team has already won the 1st set, and now they lead the 2nd set 6-3. So good to see that. In a big league game here, BenU 3-1 in the league, trying to go 4-1 and stay just that one game out of first.
And volleyball had kind of that uncharacteristic down year last season, and fully expect them to really kind of correct things this year, and it looks like they've done that. I don't think you're going to see too many years like that from this team anymore.
No. Well, they were just so young last year. It was kind of the rebuild year, and now very competitive and taking care of business once again. A couple of big soccer games coming up here later on today as well. Shotgun formation, 2nd and 1 inside the 10 for the Warriors. Look to the sideline. Still have plenty of time on their play clock. And pitch it out near side to Brummer, and cannot turn the corner.
They've really done a lot to try and get Brummer involved here on this drive. Brummer, their leading rusher coming into the contest, but doesn't lead in carries. Josh Helton leads in carries. I haven't called his name yet today.
That was Alex Bredis who threw him to the ground. A heck of a tackle. Now it is a first down, but as they look to the sideline.
I look for the play call. Looks like they're going to try and spread BenU out here on the goal line. Go 4 wide.
So 1st and goal from about the 7. And Brummer will get really only about a yard. So nice job defensively up the gut once again.
Dalen Johnson on the tackle. Another guy who's been a part of this team for a while, and one of their core players.
2nd down and goal. But only got a yard there, so 2nd and 6 basically. Again, they look to the sideline. Don't huddle. As you say, spread out the offense. Even spread out the line. And lofted back left corner of the end zone. And it is going to be ruled a touchdown.
Mitch Scarbon, that's his 6th touchdown in the year, and you could see why. That was a great play by the receiver.
Well, and I wasn't sure who was going to come out of there with the ball. I thought the Eagle on the coverage might have come out of there with it. Turns out it was Scarbon at the end.
And that was one heck of a play. And I guess a good BenU secondary right there. It's a tough battle. Scarborough was able to win it.
We talk about how they're always in every game, and even though we had looked like the better team early, they come right down and get a touchdown and make this a 3-point game at 10-7 as the PAT goes through. So definitely a game on our hands here for Benedictine. Let's watch it again, though, on the touchdown. Can't really cover it any better than that.
Yeah, that was pretty good coverage right there by the DB, who doesn't really get much better than that most of the time, but got to give credit to Scarborough on the play. He was able to win it.
So touchdown. First quarter numbers brought into us.
The yardage was at 130 to 29. Obviously changed a little bit after that last drive from Wisconsin Lutheran.
But the time of possession was basically 10 minutes to 5 minutes, so that was a nice job. And if you're the BenU Eagles, you'd like to keep that up certainly the rest of the way.
It's a pretty big possession right here, I think, for BenU. You got Lutheran took a lot of momentum back there, able to drive down and score. Got to be feeling pretty good about themselves. So Lutheran gets a stop here. They're probably feel even much better. Got a chance to take the lead on their next possession. So I think this is pretty big here for the Eagles.
And near sideline, caught at the 10, threading the way through across the 30-yard line to about the 32 is Elijah Walker. Nice return. Walker, 6'4" junior from Chicago.
Definitely seems like we had a lot of Chicago products on the team this season. Definitely did a really good job of recruiting in that area.
Trips to the high side. Sample throws and just a little bit high and through the hands of Lopez there, I believe.
Yeah, ball sailed on him just a little bit. So that one put a little bit too much on it. It's a good job that the receiver got his hands on it. That might have been ticketed for the DB back there.
Second down and 10. Again, beautiful day. We're talking about, again, mid-60s for Chicagoland in the middle of October. No complaints. Hand it off, and again, keep the legs driving, but not much there that time. So very short gain for Miles, and it's going to be 3rd and long.
It's first real third down test we've had all game. Most of our third downs have been pretty manageable. Let's see what Sample can do here with the defense. Pretty much knowing he's going to pass.
They've got some size on that D line. That J.D. Leisman in the middle, that's a big man. And number 91 next to him, we've already talked about Haynes. That's also, they've got some size for D3.
They're going to show blitz here with the linebackers.
Here they come over the middle, and that's tipped and incomplete. Sails over Lopez's head. And, well, Lutheran now starting to get a little momentum here. They score a touchdown and then make BenU punt right away.
And they brought both linebackers in for the blitz, and this went off the hand. That was a pretty good creative defensive play call right there, and Lutheran again getting some more momentum back.
Foster, their wide receiver, will be the returner at the 30. Brandon Algrim lets it go. Nicely done. And not a lot of running room and a very short return. So good kick coverage there by the Eagles.
They saw him reverse direction, thinking he might have had something, but he turned around, and number 45, Dalen Johnson, was standing right there waiting for him.
Matter of fact, he's going to kind of limp off the field, Foster is, after being tackled like that. That's a dangerous job punt returner, that's for sure.
Foster, team's second leading receiver with 19 receptions coming into the game. It's also their main punt returner. That was his 8th punt return on the season, so he'd be a big loss for them.
Well, defense needs a quick stop here to stop this momentum. Shotgun formation for DeGeorge. Yeah, he's in draw ball, and he's just going to get rid of it. And just to avoid a sack, he just dumped it at the feet of a running back.
That was Joe Dickert and Nico Paloalo out there. The ref clearing up that was not intentional grounding. But good job right there by the two ends. Flush the quarterback out of the pocket. They had nowhere to throw.
Well, watch it again. And again, it's the backup running back, Helton, who was the one who was in the general area anyway.
That was actually Paloalo wound up on the inside on that play.
2nd and 10. Hand it off. Sweep to the right, and ball got knocked out on the tackle, but I think it went out of bounds as Norvalis, the wide receiver, the one who got the end around and picked up at least a few yards.
Well, Jared Lekes takes an absolute shot here from the back there. I'm surprised that wasn't called a block in the back on that play.
So he did fumble it out of bounds. 3rd down and 6, basically.
Mentioned Lekes, the Warriors have done a great job keeping him out of the game for the most part. We haven't really said his name very much. And he's a guy who seems to make a play every time he's out there.
Now passing down here, let's see what they decide to do. Looks like we're bringing the house here. Oh, and we might have jumped off sides. Yeah, there's flags on the play. And they're going to throw and make the completion for a 1st down. So they'll probably just decline that penalty because that's a 1st down Warriors.
86, Travis Barcalau.
Warriors starting to get it together here.
That was a good job by DeGeorge right there. Sees the defense showing like they're going to bring the house in. As you said, goes with the hard count, gets him to jump. Ends up getting a free play out of it, which works.
So 1st down Warriors at their own 46. And 4 receivers are in the pattern. You've got the one running back. Pump fake, throw over the middle. He's got a man complete. And first down yardage again across the 35-yard line. So Foster, after he limped off following the punt return, he got better in a hurry because he makes a nice catch there.
And he got to the second level of the defense really quick. So I'm running wide open. You see him. So there might have been a breakdown assignment-wise there. There was nobody in the middle of the field.
They're trying to strip the ball there. Could not, but that's a first down. They're on the move again. All of a sudden, the Eagle lead is in jeopardy here. Underneath, complete. Inside the 30. Pickup of about 5 or so for Norvalis.
Lutheran is a team that likes to throw much more than they like to run. They've attempted 80 more attempts in the air than on the ground entering this game. And you kind of see it now. They're throwing a lot more short passes. That's kind of become the running game.
Second down and 6. Hand it off. Helton can try to turn the corner and gets run out of bounds on the near side after a very short gain. Well, they had used Norvalis more as a runner than a receiver before today. But looks like he's going to be a key here to their receiving game the rest of the way in this one. Third down, let's call it 5.
3 wide with the tight end on the right here.
And tipped by the defensive line and incomplete.
Great push by the entire D-line. Dickard making the tip. A good job. Watch Danny Drummond here in the middle. He just completely obliterates his man. This goes right through the double team.
Wow, yeah, he forced that play. And like you say, Dickard got a hand on it, but yeah, Drummond, that's a big play. Fourth down, they're going to go for it.
BenU playing that 4-3 defense, that 3 technique guys, really important part of it. Drummond doing a great job there.
Quarterback going to call his own name. Now he has to get rid of it. And, boy, he does complete the first down pass inside the 20-yard line to their tight end, Travis Barklow.
That was a great play. Take a look at where he's at here when he throws his football. He's pretty close to being past the line.
Yeah, he realized he wasn't going to get it on the ground and had to figure out somewhere to throw it and did a nice job. And, well, now they quickly get to the line and get a couple of yards to the right side on the quick throw out there to Patrick Matheson on the receiving end.
Talk about the yardage disparity. That's getting close to being pretty even now. They're almost up at about 80 yards. And, again, they lost over 20 yards on the one play of the fumble. So you don't count that in there. The yards are just about even now.
Second down and 6. And they're going to make another pass to number 7, Alex Foster, who's been really busy here. He's limping to the line. He goes down, runs his pattern, catches it, limps back to the huddle, and just keeps chugging along.
You can tell, unless that they got a guy wide open, they're really not trying to test the safeties. Mm-hmm. They know that we got 2 real good playmakers back there, so they're going with these shorter routes over the middle for the most part.
First and goal at the 8. Back corner of the end zone, wide open, touchdown. Scarbin.
Scarbin's been their guy when they've gotten down to this area of the field today, and he's been doing a great job of that all season. And Lutheran, just like that, comes back, takes the lead.
So it went from 10-0 BenU to now 13-10 Warriors. Chance to make it 14-10 with the point after for Matt Grams. Blocked. That could be a big one. Great job by BenU to block the PAT.
I think that was Joe Dickert who got in there to block that. Here's the touchdown replay. And he's just able to beat his man. I think that was Dickert on the block. Jarrett Lekes did a good job coming in off the edge as well. Both of those guys were over there. I'm not sure exactly who was the guy who got their hand on it.
But to keep that a 3-point game, that's a big block. So 13-10. Still plenty of time to go in the second quarter here for this drive for BenU. But now definitely going to have to get back to business now.
Yeah, this Benedictine offense really silenced on their last drive. They had the 3 and out. They're going to have to respond here or make something happen. Gino DeGeorge very quietly having a great game. He's 10 of 15 for 90 yards and 2 touchdowns now.
Well, again, if Benedictine thought this was going to be easy when they went up 10-0, well.
Every game we have with Wisconsin Lutheran always seems to come down to the wire, whether it's on the road or at home.
No doubt. And this one apparently will not be any different. Kick from Grams. Return from about the 12. Come here to the near side, and a good burst of speed to get there. And BenU will take it after the nice return by Calvin Jordan.
Another good-looking freshman on this team.
Again, he covered a lot of ground in a hurry from the high side to the near side on that return.
There's a lot of really good athletes on this Benedictine football team this year, especially at those skill positions in the return spots.
Well, you said we going into the city, there's so many other out-of-state schools raid the city of football players. It's nice to see us go in and get a good chunk of them as well. Hand off, Williams to the high side, and he will get a nice burst of speed and get out of bounds. And looks like that was first down yardage.
It's the first real successful run we've had to the outside today. Good patience shown by Williams. Take a look at the replay. Does a good job letting his blockers set up before then he finally decides to turn upfield.
So he stepped out just before the stick, so 2nd and 1 at the 47. And need that because, as you say, because we haven't really turned it on the ground, there's been a lot of third downs already. We've done a nice job on it, but you'd like there to be a little fewer 3rd and 7s to deal with. 2nd and 1. Fake handoff, throw on the run, wide open, Ludolph, first down, knocked out of bounds. As a matter of fact, he's still on his feet. They did not blow the whistle. He got inside the 20-yard line.
He's going to get a flag there. You saw Ludolph throw the football at the player of Lutheran. That's a no-no. You can't be doing stuff like that. And they're going to bring that back 15 yards. I would imagine that's the call here.
Well, and again, he's pleading his case, but they never see the first thing. They always see the second thing.
I mean, there's obviously always more stuff that goes into a play like that, but
yeah, it's unsportsmanlike on Ludolph.
And that's one of those live and learn type situations for Ludolph. You know, he's a junior, but you think about him, he's still kind of a young player.
So we go through the play with the first down. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 13 on the offense. That'll be a 15-yard penalty. The result of the play will be 1st and 10.
He's a guy who's been in a lot of different roles, so he's kind of getting his feet wet in a new position here for a second time this year, and sometimes you expect some lapses like this. And that was a great effort. Take a look at the replay here. And I saw him flip the ball right at the Lutheran player.
So basically, dead ball foul. So that was the mark-off was after the gain. So 1st and 10 at the 34 of Lutheran. Handed off, and nowhere to go. Boy, the defensive line shot through in a hurry that time for the Warriors.
Like Andrew Flagel there, along with Eric Sheldon and Jim D'Angelo. 3 names we haven't said yet today, but boy, all 3 of them teamed up to make a great play there. So number 91 there as well, Jake Hennis.
Loss of 2, 2nd and 12 from the 36 now. You know, Jordan Reed, another one of these freshmen, is the wide receiver to the left side there, the high side of the field. Trying to get more of our young freshmen on the field. And that throw, a little stumble there, I think, for Lopez, and it landed just beyond him.
So Jordan Reed, I thought you were talking about the tight end for the Washington Redskins. About as tall as him, too. He had 6'3", 190.
I know. Yeah, there are so many good young freshmen on this squad. Reed will come out, and he'll be replaced by Elijah Walker, the 6'4" junior.
Another long third down here for BenU. They weren't able to convert this on the last drive. That's a big third down as well. You get yourself into field goal range here if you're able to move the chains.
Sample has a man, Lopez. Oh, and then a diving interception at the last second. Coming in from almost nowhere was Jake Engels, the senior DB for the Warriors.
The number 49 there. Take a look at this replay. He took a shot back there in the secondary.
And he's still on the field.
That's Luke Harginski. I've said that name right, the injured player down. But that was kind of a slow developing play downfield for Sample, and had to force that through a really tight window.
So 6:47 to go in the half, but that's the second turnover of the half for BenU. Player up in a seated position, and they deal with him, and it doesn't look like it's all that serious, thank goodness. By the way, our congratulations to volleyball. They won the second set as well against MSOE, and injured player now walking off. So we take the first 2 sets in volleyball on the road today against MSOE, and they are now early on in set number 3. Be nice to get a conference 3-set sweep in volleyball today on the road.
It's MSOE, a team that always seems to play it pretty tough.
So here we go, following the pick, first down for the Warriors. About the 13-yard line. And Eagles need to create a turnover of their own, but Brummer had a huge hole up the middle and bowling balls his way across the 20 to about the 21-yard line, and that should be enough for a first down.
Nice job by number 5, Jack Nudo, to come up and make that stop.
Well, actually about 2 yards shy. I'm sorry, I have a bad angle on it.
Volleyball, you mentioned they're doing a good job today. They won 2 in a row in straight sets, and before that they lost in 5 sets to Dominican, which that's a very good team. You ever able to play that team in 5 sets with how young you are, that's pretty impressive. So it looks like they're really starting to hit their stride. 2nd
and 2 underneath. Pass is complete, and good run after catch by Scarbin again. Boy, now they're just methodically moving down the field again, and their offense has figured it out.
Yeah, they're starting to get Scarbin more involved here, and he was their leading receiver coming into the game. He had 33 receptions for almost 500 yards, averaging well over 100 yards a game. But pretty quiet, except for down by the end zone. They haven't really used him much, so they're going to start to see him get more involved now.
So first down at about their own 32. Now the official blew the whistle. Not exactly sure for what. Oh, they're waving it off. Oh, I think what happened is, I think the one official, the back judge, thought BenU had 12 men on the field, and he recounted, and it was only 11. Never mind.
It's one of those whoops moments right there for the official.
Sweep to the right side, and shooting through. What a nice tackle for Benedictine, and that's going to be a loss of a couple.
Number 53, Andrew Solis. Well, he came in there untouched. He was coming from the outside linebacker position. The offensive lineman had to come out and block him at the second level. That was number 52, Joe Prybick. Doesn't have the speed to keep up with Solis.
Boy, nice play indeed. So 2nd and 12, back to the 30. Quick out underneath, going to be complete. And again, good run after catch there for Norvalis.
Well, Joe Dickert came right through there. I almost thought he was going to be able to pick that one off coming off the edge. Take a look at Dickert here. Almost gets his hand there.
Yeah, the question was who was going to get the ball first. Norvalis did, but still a 3rd down and a good long 6 yards to go. Defense needs to make this stop right here. To George out of Las Vegas, Nevada. The quarterback in trouble. Oh, eludes the sack, but can't elude the second man. And then basically he fumbled the football forward, and I think the Eagles fell on it.
Two guys made that play happen right there. Number 45, number 50. That was Dalen Johnson and Jake Tavitas making that play happen. You see great pressure from both of those guys, forcing the fumble. Just trying to figure out who has the ball, and it's Benedictine's football.
Well, talked about the need for a big play. They made it there.
It's Johnson there first, and Tavitas comes shooting through, forcing the fumble.
And I think, again, for BenU, that was Alex Breedis who fell on it, and he's having a really big day here today.
Alex Breedis, guy who has been in this program for a couple of years, one of those products out of Divine Child in Michigan.
You talk about some guys waiting for their turn. Well, Alex has definitely got his turn, and he's making the most of it. So big turnover. BenU gets it back. 33-yard line. Shotgun formation. Sample throws over the middle, a little bit behind Ludolph. And is that intercepted as well? No, incomplete. Oh, now the other official comes in. The back judge overrules and says interception.
Yeah, that looked like an interesting call when it was made. I thought, we'll take a look at the replay if we get one, but that was one of those in-between type of plays. You see both refs kind of not on the same page there. There's a replay of the fumble again. That was a good play by BenU. And second time today we've had turnover follow turnover in this game.
Well, again, that pass was behind Ludolph. The question was, did it hit the ground before it was eventually grabbed by the Warrior player? But, well, they say it was indeed a good interception, so first down for the Warriors again. And outside, going to be complete. And just get a couple of yards for Theo Bellholm, a junior wide receiver from Kissimmee, Florida. What they're doing is they're not really giving the defense much time. It's hike the ball and get rid of it.
Hey, both teams are really getting sloppy with the football now.
Second down and about 6, and now the official blows the whistle. An official's timeout. I think they're just going to change the football. There might have been a problem with that one. So bring in a new one. Now the clock is a factor here. There were inside 4 minutes to go in the half. Going to throw a deep fade and over the head of Scarbin. But give to George credit because he's really been on target here for the most part in this half.
Good coverage right there by Jersey Eichhorst, not giving him a chance. And another one of those names, guys had to wait his turn. Eichhorst had some great defensive backs here the last couple of years with Ronnie Nichols, who's now a coach on the sidelines. Notice him down there. Ronnie Nichols, Stephen Herron were two of your better defensive backs in Division III. Yeah, a lot of guys had to wait their turns while those two finished up their careers.
So third down and about 5. Quarterback will take it himself, and he's not going to get there.
Nice job on the line to slow him up, and Lekis comes up to make that stop. See, Lekis starting to get a little bit more active now. And you know, with a guy like him, there's only a matter of time before he makes that game-changing play. They were going to see him do something pretty big here down the stretch of this game and into the second half.
Diekert was at the bottom of that pile again, too, as he continues to have a big day. So 4th and 4 sets up the punt. Looks like Lopez back to receive at the 30. High snap. They get it away, but it didn't go very far into that wind. You could see the wind knock it down and roll it to the near sideline, shy of the 50. So great chance here for BenU with, again, time a factor, under 3 minutes. But now they don't have all that far to go.
Lekis.
Well, there's a flag.
Yeah, Lekis tipped that ball. There's a flag down. I think this is going to be against Lutheran. See, Lekis reacting like he's pretty happy.
Holding. 21 on the 52. That's 17 will be a short 10 yards from the 15 spot. First down.
Wow, so that's a hold that gets tacked on afterwards. Yeah, he did just barely get a fingertip on it. And that affected the short punt, plus you get a hold. So great chance now for BenU, who starts this drive at the 37.
Got an athlete like Lekis. Sometimes you got to hold to slow him down. A hold's better than a blocked punt.
Pitch it out. And Williams gets, or excuse me, that was Miles, I think, who got about 4 yards or so. Let's see, 23 and 23, sometimes hard to tell. Actually, it was Williams. Yep, because Miles will take his place now. 2nd and 7 at the 34. By the way, Athletic Director Mark McCorney will be our halftime guest. Shotgun. Hand it off Miles. And gets to the 30. Still will need about 3 yards for the first. Well, they're going to give him all the way to the 29. We'll take that.
He's had a couple of long third downs lately, but now they're back to getting it to be more manageable like they did back in the first couple of drives.
So 3rd and about 2. Clock becoming a factor now inside 2 minutes. It'll be huge to get this lead back before half. Underneath, complete Kilborn, but he's going to be just shy of the first.
Lutheran saying he fumbled. I'm going to say he was down.
I think the ground caused that fumble. It's going to be 4th down and 1, I do believe. Oh, we're going to get the first down. Wow. We kept the ball and we got the first. Not too sure about any of that, but I'll take it. Let's see if we can see it again.
Yeah, kind of tough to see from this angle up here. Yeah, that looks like a pretty generous spot. I know we're calling the game for Benedictine here, but like he might have been just a little bit short, but we'll take it.
And, oh, Lopez, what an outstanding catch. Touchdown, Eagles.
That was as good a throw and catch as you're going to see. Sample put that only where Lopez could get it, just overhead of the entire defensive secondary there, and Lopez, great job to haul it in.
How good were those hands on that catch? Wow, that was spectacular. And well, let's hope he didn't hurt himself. You watch him hobble a little bit to the sideline. But that was a brilliant catch. BenU does indeed get the lead back, and now will come on for the point after. Santiago now to try to make it 17-13. And that one is good. So 17-13, but still 1:14 to go in the half. Let's watch it again.
Sample, good job to stay in the pocket again. 3 white jerseys there. Throws it through all of them. Great play by Lopez.
As you say, the only one who was going to get that was Lopez, and even he just barely was able to go up there and grab it with great hands. And nice job by the offense.
Lopez,
get the lead back.
Lopez looks like he's such a weapon now. Enlisted as a junior, and he's a guy who he's going to be at or near the top of the receiving categories here in this conference this year. Ludolf, another guy, too, I think, has got a chance to be up there. Again, got started late, was a running back to start the season, but you could already see how good he could be.
And again, just one of those guys you're happy for to earn his way onto the field as a regular player after starting here as a quarterback and then running back and now wide receiver, and really has found his niche. That one off the chest of the return man to the near side after he picked it up across the 30. And boy, Alex Foster, he's going to need the whirlpool when this day is done. He's had a rough half already, but he's touched it a ton and been good.
See, he's a little bit slow to get up again. But yeah, he's taking a lot of hits back there, both at receiver and at return.
34-yard line. And again, just over a minute for the Warriors to try to get downfield. Hand it off, and nothing doing up the gut there. Middle of the defensive line has been stalwart all day. Helton there didn't go anywhere.
Looks like they're content to just run this out to the half.
Kind of surprises me.
The way they've thrown the football here down the stretch in this second quarter, I thought for sure they'd be trying to take some shots down the field.
And no timeouts and just letting the clock run. 2nd down and 10. Throw on the run underneath, and that's going to be a first down, I do believe, as Theo Bellholm gets his second catch of the half. They're going to move the chains, but time's a-wasting for them now. Watch that again.
Again, kind of interesting that they decided to run the ball that first play. Take all that time off the clock.
Did us a favor. They're already at the 44, but they let a ton of time run off the clock, down to 30 seconds. Now come near side, and another catch into BenU territory and out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. Scarbin.
Right in between Eichhorst and Lekes there. That was a great catch, great throw, and nice job to stay in bounds. And had to kind of tiptoe his way over there to stay in.
They're going to wish they had some of those seconds back.
And that was 30 seconds that got run off the clock that they decided to run the football.
And, you know, they're going to end the half with some timeouts in their pocket, and they're going to wish that was not the case. 25 seconds. And underneath. Got about 6 yards and a very hard hit as Norvalis went down. But again, now they will use one of those timeouts as they get to the 30.
That was Lekes there on the hit.
Boys, and he's not that big a guy, but boy, can he deliver a hit. So timeout on the field.
I said earlier that it seems like Lekes had a pretty quiet game. Yeah, that's only his 7th tackle. So, you know, you're a pretty good player when you got 7 tackles and a half, and we're talking like he's had a quiet game for himself.
Where's the pick 6? Let's go. Come on. 7. Anybody can do 7 tackles and a half. We want the interception return for a touchdown, for goodness sake. No, I know just what you mean, though. He's always around the ball no matter what. And BenU trying to come up with a big stop here to end this half and keep that lead. Don't want that to get away here down late. Second down and about 4. Again, underneath, Norvalis breaks a tackle, and he'll get the first down, get inside the 20.
Able to get himself out of bounds, too.
Now, field goal-wise, they're 2 for 4 on the year. Their long is a 31-yarder. And they're starting to get into that territory where you think about that with 14 seconds to go. And one of their players, guess who, being looked at as Foster as he's banged up again.
Yeah, it's going to stop the clock either way. the officials' timeout.
Well, again, he's going to try to put weight on it, and he can't wait for halftime. I know that. Just to get an ice pack maybe and an aspirin.
Hey, he's taking a lot of contact out there today. But that takes a weapon off the field here for the Warriors. Down the stretch here in the half.
10 seconds traction. The clock was stopped because the ball was out of bounds.
So 20-yard line. First down. 14 seconds. And they're going to make the completion down to the 5-yard line. Wow. Heck of a drive. Tim Grimes, a senior wideout, makes the grab.
They're throwing everything here right in front of Lekes. And they're really trying not to test him as much as they can. And another player down here for Wisconsin Lutheran.
That's Grimes. He made the catch and again got hit hard. So they're paying the price, but they're moving the ball. So first and goal from the 5, and they're going to have 2 cracks at it with 9 seconds. That's definitely, 2 plays.
We talked about how calling that one running play might have sent him back, but, kind of look at it in hindsight. They're able to score here. They're not going to leave any time on the clock for the Eagles.
Well, that's certainly true. So they continue to look at Grimes, but now he's up and seated, and well, that's nice. He's actually going to walk off under his own power without any problem, so good to see.
Grimes only 2 catches on the year before this game. But he looks like he's going to be okay.
All right, first and goal at the 5.
Scarbon here on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, they keep going into that left back corner of the end zone when they get here. Will they do it again? Yes, they will, and Scarbon catches it out of bounds this time, however. But they're going to have one more crack at it.
Eichhorst playing him perfectly there. And I think that they're going to I don't think they're all too worried about getting a field goal. I think they're going to go for a touchdown every time. I think they're trying to shoot for the lead going into halftime here.
Well, there's a chance they might even get 2 plays out of this. There's 6 seconds. That last play only took 3 seconds. So they might even have 2 more cracks at it here. And knocked down. Beautiful play from behind. Incomplete.
They're going to call a flag. Flag came in. It's probably going to be interference on number 11.
It's Brendan Williams, who's had a really good start to this season as well. He's made some big plays. Well, defensive hold. That's interesting.
Holding. Number 11 on the defense. That is, penalty is half the distance. First down.
Well, in all reality, the clock still ticked 3 seconds off, so it did cost them a play. The yardage in this situation doesn't mean all that much unless they're going to try and run the football here. We'll see.
Yeah, that doesn't really affect anything. If the ball went forward a couple of yards, but really it's one more play to get in the end zone, and that's what it was anyway.
Penalty or no penalty, it still took the time off the clock. And they're going to go for the score here. They're shooting for the lead. They're not worried about that field goal before the half.
So from the 3-yard line, they're going to go for the score on the last play of the half. Now they're going to use their last timeout.
So the officials call Lutheran Illinois Wesley in there? Yeah, I think he just thought we were he got the same colors. It's close, I guess.
Well, I told you before the game started I was wondering if I was going to call them Walther Lutheran.
Well, I did. I don't know if you did notice. I did say Tech at one point instead of BenU. I knew that was going to happen at some point. It's my apologies to everyone. Those of you who don't know, I actually worked here for 3 years and just left this year. I'm the SID over at Illinois Tech now. So I knew I was going to say at some point I was going to say it. I knew it was going to happen, but I think I got it out of the way.
That's right. You just got it out of your system. That's fine. Well, that's a big play in the scheme of this ball game right here.
So this is going to change the course here of this first half. Because Lutheran also gets the ball after the halftime, so this is a big play.
Last play of the half. 3-yard line, 3 seconds left. 15 on the play clock, so they've got time to snap. Option play, they'll pitch it out. And did he get in? I don't think he did. Brummer did not get in. BenU denies them at the 1-yard line.
Good stop right there by the BenU defense. Look at Coach Kleckler runs all the way out there. Congratulate his team. Big stop right there by the Eagles.
Watch it again, the pitch out. And tripped up, and then they made
he actually fumbled.
Yeah, he dropped the ball. That was Josh Helton. I thought it was Brummer. It was actually Helton, the backup running back. And Helton got tripped up, dropped the ball. It got stopped at the 1-yard line, and BenU keeps the lead going into the locker room. My goodness.
Hard to tell who tripped him up there. That might have been McKechnie. I saw a 4 and then a high number there, so I think it was Mikkel McKechnie. But regardless, great group effort there by the defense.
Well, dodged a bullet, but
bit of a wild first half there.
As we learned, though, this game is a long way from over.
Yeah, there's definitely both positives for both these teams to draw on going into halftime, and this is going to be anyone's ball game heading into the second half.
So Benedictine leads going into the break, but it's going to be a dandy second half. No doubt about that. Stick around. So 17-13, Eagles with the lead. By the way, BenU did defeat MSOE in 3 straight sets in volleyball on the road. So congratulations to them for that win. So they now go to 4-1 in conference. So that's another big win for BenU's volleyball team. And don't forget, and if you're watching this live online, we still have 2 more soccer games to go yet today. The men's soccer game at 5, women's soccer game at 7:30. Why don't we step aside for a few minutes, then we'll talk to our athletic director, Mark McCorney, give you the stats and get the second half underway. So don't go away, but BenU has the lead. I think you're right. By the way, halftime, Lakeland over Chicago. It's Concordia, Chicago, 41-0 at the half for Lakeland. Hope leads Rockford at the half, 17-0. Concordia, Wisconsin leads Aurora, 21-17 at the half. The other scores around this league.
I heard the second half of your interview there with Mark McCorney as I walked in, and just want to mention, he mentioned the new quad in the business building, and I got here about 10 o'clock this morning, got a chance to walk around, say hi to everyone I haven't seen, and then I spent a while walking around the new campus, and I tell you what, he said game changer. He is not lying to you. It is so beautiful over there now, and that new building looks just awesome. I kind of peeked my head in there to try and see what it looks like. There's big like plasma screens, like all the stock information on there and stuff. It's incredible.
Return to the near side after a little bit of a flub there for Alex Foster. And he'll get across the 25, though, before he's hit hard again. And, well, he's hobbling, but he's still.
I can see what it looks like. There's big plasma screens like all this in the first half, and I'm sure we'll see him be more of a factor here in half number 2 as well. But just to continue off of that, if you're a business student out there, if you're looking to go into business here in high school, definitely come give that new building a look, because we were always a really good business program to begin with. And take a look at that new building now, what that's going to allow for us to do around here, and all the classes that are going to be in there. That's going to be neat.
So first down, the Warriors hand it off, try to pick his way through. Not much there for Brummer, and really only got about maybe 2 yards.
I mean, the amount of changes that have, as I think back to when I was a freshman back in 2010, and the amount of how much this campus has changed and how much the athletic facilities have changed, it's just unbelievable. I don't think there's another school in the region that has done more improvements to the campus over the last 5 years than ours when you just take everything into consideration.
Second down and 7. They gave him 3 yards on that one. And gets rid of it, and incomplete through the hands of Foster that time.
I heard footsteps. We know McKechnie's got the reputation of being a really hard hitter, so whenever he's kind of trailing a receiver there, that anticipation for the hit builds, and a lot of times people don't hang on to the football. And he forced that fumble at the goal line, 10.5.
Well, key 3rd down and 7 here early in this 3rd quarter. And back out of the backfield, complete, but Brummer loses yards.
Brandon Williams on the tackle, and that's a huge 3-and-out to start this half. And Lutheran had that nice long drive before the half, didn't get any points, and then they come out here, give away some of the momentum back to BenU with the 3-and-out.
Well, again, for a while, we had dominated the total yards, and they're practically even now at the half. So the defense needs to get back to dominating and see what happens here on a 4th down and about 12. Pretty good boot. Caught at the 41 or thereabouts. Return only to about the 47. Now there's a flag on this play, and let's see what that's about.
Once again, another punt return, another flag. This has definitely become the football epidemic, I think. These return penalties, you look at all the levels of football, and they're just so prevalent now.
Just try to get in their way. That's because if you make any contact at all, it seems like it's illegal. So just try to get in their way and slow them down, because if you touch them, apparently it's a flag now. Yeah, so block in the back, and that'll move our field position back a bit.
See if we can pick out where that block was. Yeah, there it is. And yeah, it doesn't take much to get that penalty called on you.
So line of scrimmage is the 34. Again, beautiful sunny day, but when it's sunny like this, I can't see anything. I can't see the scoreboard. Hey. I can't see the replay.
Hey, just wait till about 6, 7 o'clock when we have those soccer games.
Pitch out right side. Williams, good cut. And he was able to at least go forward for about 3 yards before he was hit.
Oh, that's when that sun gets right behind these lights over here, and got to be wishing that you had sunglasses on when that happens. Really, shout out to Emily Roberson. I know she's listening from home. She's one of the former trainers on the sidelines here for football when she was a student. I know she was texting me a while ago and said, "Hey, your voice sounds familiar." So. Always nice to hear that our alums are listening.
No question.
It's always a good thing.
Sample will hand it off, and picking his way through. Another nice gain, about 4 yards or thereabouts, 4 miles.
Now, you mentioned earlier that they're going to use these two backs pretty even. Williams has 8 carries. Miles has 5 now. And Williams coming back out there now. They pretty much do just switch off plays, it seems like, between these two freshmen.
Well, we're shouting out listeners. Thanks to Kerry McKechnie tweeted. Thanks for the stream, and got to see another McKechnie with a strip and a fumble. And that will be incomplete. Try to get that to Vallis, coming back on the slant, and knocked down, incomplete.
Also, Mike Boland just sent me a text as well. Said, familiar with voice on the broadcast, hashtag we miss Luke. Well, that'd be an interesting hashtag. I don't think that'll get trending. Well, you can give it a try if you want to, but.
Well, I know I'm going to miss you for the soccer games tonight. I can tell you that. 4 hours solo after you leave. 4th down at about 3. We'll be punting it away.
I definitely got to get out to a men's soccer game this year. I know saw Benedictine play at Elmwood Tech. I already saw them win a soccer game, so I think I fill my quota a year for them.
That one rolls out at about the 42 with no return. So both teams force some punts here early. And we'll see if BenU can force another 3 and out themselves.
We talked a little bit about volleyball in the first half, and heard you talk about the soccer teams with Mark McCorney, and yeah, both those soccer teams are just headed in the complete right direction right now. Both coaches have done just a fantastic job here. Coach Bolin and Coach Nassif.
First down, shotgun, forward to George. And going to do that end around again, Norvillis, and hit hard and knocked down shy of the 50 there. Good tackle by Cody Greenway, another freshman. We've had a bunch of really good freshmen. He's another.
That's the second time they've ran that jet sweep today with Norvillis. He's got 11 carries on the season. He's listed as a receiver, but he's only got 2 receptions compared to 11 carries, so they definitely want to give him the ball in that way.
Second down and, well, they gave him almost to the 50, so second down and 2. It's a generous spot. Well, now again, after getting all set, then they all back away and look at the sideline. 10 on the play clock. They just got that snap away. Hand off Brummer. Again, hit hard after a pickup of about 3 to the 45-yard line, but it is a first down.
Well, Brummer, he's a really tough runner. He's definitely a guy who's going to get those tough yards for you. His numbers don't look all that impressive today, just his 9th carry, just over 30 yards, but he's had some tough yards and have gotten some big gains there, moved the chains.
So BenU territory at the 45. And the slant knocked away. Good defensive play by the Eagles.
That's Mason Bittner on the coverage. And he's had another pretty good game here today. They haven't really tested him all that much.
Barkalow was the intended receiver, but a good play by Bittner, 2nd and 10. Well, and again, it looks like they're going to snap it, and then they all step away. Hand it off. And falling forward for about 4 that time was Brummer.
Well, now, of course, Coach Nassif's got to get the last word in, asking who is this guy cramping Vasko's style. You know, hey, I'm bringing the style back. I don't know what you guys are talking about. That was probably lacking over here. That's why I'm back. I got to bring it back every once in a while. Hey,
so we pat Coach Nassif on the back, and then he calls and gives you grief. Yeah. Well, that's too bad.
Hey, you know, you mentioned who else are you going to go and make fun of the Sox with in the offices now that I'm gone? I wonder who's your fall guy for that now. I know that was me for most of the time.
Key 3rd down here now. Rush is on. Completion, though, and first down yardage to the 30. Scarbin.
And Scarbin, he's been their guy. Whenever they need a big play, they're looking to him today in the air. He's got those 2 touchdowns and he's got just over 50 yards receiving now. And he's one of the better receivers in this conference. And once again, Lutheran doing a good job of just methodically moving themselves downfield. And not really looking for the big play. They're just doing what they can to keep possession and move the football.
And traffic caught. And then another hard hit by Jared Lekis on Norvillis, but picked up about 4 yards.
Oh, there's been a couple of times where BenU was almost picked that off and ran it back. There's been about 3 screen passes now where they've just been a hair late. And that was going to be another one right there. And Lekis just laying the hammer down. It's his 9th tackle.
Second down, about 6. Hand it off. Brummer fumbled. Well, BenU says they have it at the 25.
Again, Lutheran puts the ball on the ground. 4th time today. Oh, they're going to say that Lutheran recovered it.
Now, regardless, that's basically no gain, so that's huge. 3rd down and 6 at the 25.
Hard to tell who got in there. I think that was Danny Drummond forced the fumble. And he's been all over the place today. BenU brings all the linebackers up here.
Complete, and first down, I do believe. Foster once more.
Good effort right there to fight toward that marker. Some kind of spin a little bit, spin himself forward.
Another hard hit, but that is going to be first down yardage.
I mentioned how Lekis was kind of slow to start this game. He's definitely locked and loaded now. He's definitely bringing the hammer down a ton.
19-yard line, first down. He can do that pick six anytime he wants now. It's about time for one. We need to change the momentum now. Throwing, and an amazing catch. Skarbin is out of the end zone, however.
Wow, that was one heck of a play. I don't know how he got that past both defensive backs there. That was Eichhorst there on the coverage. It was a pretty good job. Man, what a amazing play right there. Even though that was out of bounds, that was still worth seeing.
Whew. Great diving catch. Couldn't believe he didn't get his feet down, but he did not. Landed out of bounds. But the thing is, they're doing such a great job of getting rid of it in a hurry to where our rush just can't get to him in time. Just get it and get rid of it. Now this time he doesn't get rid of it right away and has to just throw that one to the ground to avoid the sack.
That was number 45 with their on the pressure. Dalen Johnson, he's a name we've said a lot today. Senior out of Florida.
Third and 10 from the 19. Well, Foster's back on the field, so we'll watch for number 7 to the near side. And then, of course, you've got Skarbin, number 10, the wide out to the high side. They've been the bigger targets today. Underneath, oh, incomplete. Slot man took a step back. That's Grimes, but the pass just off his fingertips.
Lutheran this time, looks like they're going to try and bring the kick team out here. This is definitely not a gimme field goal. This is going to be 30, looking at about 36 yards.
Now this would be their longest of the year. 31's their longest to this point. And they're going to fake it. Skarbin was the holder. Skarbin will take it himself. He does not get to the first down.
Yeah, that was a good spot right there for a fake. It would have been your longest field goal of the year. It was fourth and somewhat manageable. A good job by BenU. They were all over it defensively.
Again, another hard hit. Knocked the ball loose, as a matter of fact. Now what that does do, though, is make it so BenU gets the ball at the 13-yard line. So in a way, it's still a success because you probably wouldn't, from that short of a distance, been able to do anything but punt it into the end zone. And if you miss the field goal, it's to the 20 either. So this way, at least they're inside the 15. I formation this time, quarterback under center. Sample rolls out after the fake handoff, throws deep, and Vallis cannot go back to get it. And because of the contact downfield, they're going to throw the flag.
Vallis drew that call right there. That was a good job by him. He realized that there was no way he was going to get to the football, so he kind of just ran himself into the defensive back, and ended up working out for him.
So pass interference. That'll get us out of deep in our own territory. So first down yardage.
Dakota Elin going to get the interference. I'll take a look at this replay. And he can't really tell on there, but he kind of just came up to him and ran right into him to get that call.
Well, to get to the ball through the defender was the quickest way, so give that a shot. 28-yard line.
I think they overruled this to maybe defensive holding because the interference took place about 15 yards further down the field.
Yeah, exactly right. Quarterback will take it himself after the fake handoff. Hit hard after just a 2-yard gain at the 30. Sample has not run it much today.
So we also got an old friend listening in, Graham, off from Washington. Sent a tweet at me, said he's listening in today. There was a overall broadcast plays back from Lacrosse.
Nice to hear from Graham. Yeah, it's been a while.
Still remember that time he bought us those Jimmy John sandwiches up here.
I know. And a triple header day like today, I might.
If you want to buy some sandwiches, feel free.
Need that again. Not necessarily from Graham all the way from Washington, but you know. Miles knocked down at the 35, so 3rd down and about 3.
It's going to be interesting to see as the season rolls along who they're going to decide to go to at running back in these short yardage spots, because Williams is the bigger running back, but as we mentioned before, they're pretty similar in style. So it's going to be interesting to see who he gets more comfortable with running between the tackles.
Well, the one running back in this situation, going to throw. Will he take it himself instead? And yes, 1st down yardage. Not by a lot, but by enough. And the 1st down run for Sample.
Well, Sample might actually be a running back in those 3 yardage situations. You know, he's good enough for running the football where they can call draw plays for him or rollouts, and he'll be able to pick him up himself. And an interesting thing to notice here, I just see that Lopez and Fleming are out of their pads on the sideline, so I don't think we'll be having them for the rest of the game here on offense.
Oh my goodness!
Sitting there at the trainer's table.
Well, that's exactly right. Those are 2 big-time receivers we're not going to have. Sample throws, and that'll be complete near the 50, but then dropped by Vallis. They're going to say he didn't have it long enough, incomplete. Boy, and after the first half that Lopez had, wow.
So Lopez's day, he's going to end with 4 catches for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now remember on that last touchdown, he came up kind of gimpy, kind of was running to the sidelines favoring one of those legs, but I didn't see where Fleming got hurt. I didn't notice that throughout the course of the game, but we did see a lot of him early and then not much after that, so might have been one of those plays in the first quarter.
Looks like he's got an ice pack on his right ankle, does Fleming. And handoff. Nice running room for Miles and a big gain, 1st down.
Miles, nice job on the run there. Look at the replay. It looked like someone might have got him around the head there. I thought I might have got a face mask call coming. Let's take a look at this replay again. Yeah, might have a little bit below the face mask there, but kind of scary there. Got him around the neck.
1st down at the 50 after the 11-yard run. Well, now Ludolph, therefore, could be much more key receiver here the rest of the way with the other 2 guys on the sideline, and Ludolph is the slot to the right. And they've got a man on a slant, complete, 1st down inside the 30. They went to Elijah Walker with that one.
Yeah, Walker, one of those guys, he's going to be expected to step up in this half with a couple of receivers out for BenU. Great play right there, way to get himself open. That's also his 4th catch on the year. See a lot more Jordan Reed. He's been out there a lot on this drive as well.
First down yardage. Sweep to the right, and not much there that time for Miles. No gain. So 2nd down and 10.
Notice on our scoreboard here that shows Lutheran not having any timeouts. They do still have 3 timeouts.
Now they just didn't reset him at the half, it appears. Actually lost a yard, so 2nd and 11. And, oh, what a great catch. 1st down at the 15-yard line. Vallis, pretty play.
Vallis has had some good catches here today. That was probably his biggest one. Nice job to move the chains.
And again, with a lot of defenders in the area, was able to leap and make the grab. So first down at the 15. Nice time-consuming drive, and if it ends in some points, certainly would be a nice bonus as well. And quarterback Sample, nowhere to go this time. Just tucked it under, but the white jerseys were there. Maybe even lost a yard. Well, Aurora has taken the lead on Concordia, Wisconsin in the third, 23-21. Hope has scored again to lead Rockford 24-0. And Lakeland continues to lead Concordia Chicago 41-0, all those in the third quarter as well. So second and long here. Walker is the wide out to the high side. Vallis to the near side. And then Ludolph will make the grab down at the 5. That should be a first and goal.
I believe that's number 19, Jacob Cernowski, with the catch.
Oh, you're right. That wasn't 13. It was 19. Cernowski, sophomore, out of Minooka High School. Lives in Shorewood, but went to Minooka.
That was a great play. Cernowski, another one of those guys here, going to have to step up the rest of this game with Fleming and Lopez out.
But a first and goal at the 5. A little audible here at the line from Sample. And he didn't get it off in time, though. Well, play clock went down. Well, we did manage the timeout before the flag. Okay. So timeout just before the play clock went to 0. Don't want to make any mistakes that close to the end zone, that's for sure.
Yeah, this is a valuable spot here. You want to make sure you get a touchdown. So definitely agree with the decision to call the timeout and save the yards.
Again, we're less than 2 hours away from our men's soccer start time against Wisconsin Lutheran, and then about 7:30 for the women's start time to close out our triple header here today. And then we come back with a busy week next week as well. We come right back on Tuesday with more action, as it's volleyball against Aurora Tuesday at 7. And then I'll have men's soccer against Concordia Chicago Wednesday night at 7 right back out here at the Sports Complex. Next Saturday, it's a homecoming doubleheader. Football at 1 versus Concordia, Wisconsin. Volleyball against Edgewood going on basically at the same time, though. So we'll have an indoor and an outdoor game next Saturday. Quarterback will fake the handoff. Sample takes it himself and looks like no gain, right back to the 5.
One of the linemen a little slow to get up. Yeah, Sample seems like he's really trying to do more on the ground here.
Well, all I know is let's hope that number 3 and number 1 get back on the field next Saturday, if they're not going to come back today, because those would be big losses for our offense if they can't come back. Second and goal from the 5. Pitch out right side. Looking for some running room. Close to the end zone. Down to the 1. Now there's a late flag. And that looks like that's in the old holding territory, and it is. So that's too bad. We got down to the 1, but it's all coming back. We've done a nice job avoiding too many penalties today, but that one ill-timed, to say the least.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough break there for the Eagles, setting them back big time here. I got second and long pretty much all the way to the goal line.
So line of scrimmage is the 15. So second and goal from there. Walker, the wide out to the high side. Ludolph just inside of him.
It's been a lot of 4 wide for the Eagles on this drive. Been a lot of faith in their offensive line.
Vallis is the near side. They're going to go towards Walker in the end zone. He's got it for the touchdown. Just used his height there to make the difference.
How about that? You get two pretty good receivers. They're all each big guys 6'4" off the bench. Get two huge catches on the drive, one for a touchdown. Not a bad luxury to have if you're Coach Cooper.
Dakota Elin, their senior DB, he's just not that tall. He just couldn't reach up and go over the 6'4" receiver for that football.
Yeah, Sample saw the matchup problem right there for Lutheran and completely exploited it.
Yeah, there aren't too many 6'4s in D3. We've got a bunch of them. Up for the point after. Santiago. And that one is good. So BenU 24-13 lead and a big drive. Capped by this beautiful catch. Turned around, faced the QB, made the leap, and made the grab. So the holding penalty, all that did was just give us a little more room to run that play, I guess. So good to see. So ran some clock and added to the lead on that nice offensive drive.
And they're up by 11 points, but the way this game is gone, pretty important to get a stop on this drive because we know that Lutheran has done a really good job moving the football. So they've shown that they have the ability to get themselves downfield and potentially get some points. BenU has just done a good job of shutting them down once they get inside the 30.
No doubt.
So you definitely still got to be on your guard here.
Again, this is the second of our 3 straight home games. As we said, homecoming next Saturday at 1, Concordia, Wisconsin. Then we're on the road for 2. Concordia, Chicago, and Rockford before home again against Aurora November the 7th. And that'll be our last home football game of the year. And the return, and gets out to about the 35 for the very busy Alex Foster. But again, after today, really only 2 more chances to watch the football team here at home. And that AU game, always a big one, November the 7th. At 1 against the big rival, and we wrap things up on November the 14th at Lakeland. And I've got a hunch that that game could decide things in the league and will decide who's going to go to the national playoffs. Because I think that the Eagles and Lakeland are probably the 2 best teams in this conference.
Well, that's no surprise. It seems like every year that game ends up deciding something. When we always play Lakeland that last week, and it always seems like it's of huge importance for one of those 2 teams.
Yeah, another injured Warrior is on the field. Well, they take a look at him. You know, of course, we used to travel all the time, home and away, but now with technology the way it is, just about everybody has put their games, their own home games, online. And so we don't really travel anymore as far as football is concerned. And even though there's going to be so much on the line for that game, what do you think the temperature will be for that game at Lakeland in November? I actually probably won't mind that I'm not going to be there for that one.
Yeah, that's going to be a cold one. Lakeland was actually one of the schools in the conference that while I was here, I did not get a chance to go see. It was one of the schools I never actually went up there to call a game, but I know that's pretty much up there in Wisconsin. I'm sure it's going to be pretty chilly at that point in the year.
Well, you and I had to sit outside quite a few times over the years and some pretty chilly Saturdays. So it's always nice to have these beautiful facilities here at home, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I remember. We still got some of those stories from all those places we visited that I think back and I kind of laugh about them now. I know we probably stressed about them at the time. I look back was it last year or 2 years ago? We got the time wrong at Concordia, Chicago.
That was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, we were walking up at noon and the national anthem's playing, and we're like, "What's going on here?"
It's a 1 o'clock game, isn't it? No, it starts in 5 minutes. Oh, okay. Throw stuff together and get on. That was Jake Postal, the freshman linebacker, who they were looking at, but again, he looks okay as he gets to the sideline now, although they are going to help him so he doesn't have to put any weight on that one leg. I hope that's not too serious. All right, here we go. See if the defense can force a 3 and out. From the shotgun. Oh, what a nice catch. Whew, big day for Scarbin, and another beautiful fingertip grab there.
He's shown he's got such great hands. He's had 2 touchdowns, one of them, and then another one called back. And he's made big catch after big catch for this team.
So third quarter has come to a close, and again, BenU with a great job to use a lot of that in that last offensive drive and add the lead. But we'll go to the fourth with BenU, again, adding to that advantage. Well, it was funny because I remember that day, too, because there was a league rule that all the games were at 1 o'clock. So I think it was like, well, then how is this game is at noon? There's a league rule the games are at 1. Like, well, I don't know. The game starts in 5 minutes. Like, well, all right. We unpacked our equipment as fast as we've ever done it.
I remember we missed I think we missed the first touchdown. I think we were standing there hoping, like, hopefully there's no scores. Of course, like the third play of the game, Artie Monaco breaks off like an 80-yard run and we score a touchdown.
Exactly. You couldn't have waited one more play? It's like, come on. So again, volleyball wins today in 3 straight sets. So congrats to them for that win over MSOE. Trying to get a football win here today as well. And soccer games to come. So flip it around for the fourth quarter. It's a 1st and 10 for the Warriors. Hand it off, and Brummel will get about 4 or 5 yards on that one. Dickert once again there on the stop.
Once again, Lutheran just methodically moving themselves down the field.
2 receivers to either side. To George. He's had a very nice day at the QB spot.
Yeah, looks like he's definitely going to be one of the better quarterbacks in the conference this year.
He's definitely playing like a senior. And goes to the near sideline, and Scarbin again. First down yardage.
The ball came out.
Well, we had him stopped. He wouldn't go down, and then we ripped the ball out of his hands, and there was no whistle until now, so it is indeed Eagle football.
At number 53 on the recovery. Well, Johnson took it out, and it's recovered by Solis.
Let's watch it again. Again, 3 black jerseys around him. He wouldn't go down, and sometimes that's the worst thing in the world for you. Go down. Gave us time to take it away.
Well, again, another fumble for this Lutheran team. I think that's their 5th of the game, 4th lost.
You talked about turnovers being key, and that's a huge one right there because they were moving right down the field again. Hand it off Miles, and he'll get himself about 4 yards on that one.
It'd be interesting to see the percentages of, especially in college football, how often the turnover battle decides the game. It's got to be up around, I'd say at least like 80, 85% if we were to look at the numbers.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. Second down and 6. Hand it off, and well, maybe about 3 more yards that time. That'll be Johnson on that carry. Third down and about, well, a short 2 to go probably. As again, we'd like to grind it out, keep that clock moving. And so we'll probably have our 3rd straight run here to see if we can get this first down on 3rd and short.
Yeah, BenU right around 75 yards on the ground for the day. Lutheran just below 40, and they both had the same number of carries at the end of the 3rd quarter.
They're going to throw instead on the slant pattern, complete. First down at the 45. Tough grab by Vallis.
Vallis has really stepped up big in this half with the injuries to the 2 receivers. He's been a guy who's really made himself available, gotten himself open.
Yeah, you're right. If Eagles go on to win this game, and if you're the Warriors, you're going to look at those 5 fumbles and 4 lost as definitely being a huge key in this one, to say the least. First down at the 45. Under center this time is Sample. Williams shoots through for about 4 again.
Williams on the carry. He makes his way close to the mid.
Well, and just think about this. Sample's a sophomore, and those 2 running backs are freshmen. We're going to see those guys in the backfield for quite a while, and they're pretty good already, and they're only going to get better.
Yeah, these are some guys who I think are going to play a big part in this offense moving forward, and even Ludolf will have next year also. Lopez also listed as a junior, so all these skill players you're seeing on this offense are going to be back next year for the most part.
Fleming, a freshman. Walker, a junior. Pitch out right side. Johnson. And he'll dive to the 50. It'll be 3rd down and about 5 from there. Give Warriors credit. We've had a hard time turning the corner against them. They've got good pursuit.
Yeah, they're, like we've been mentioning earlier, they're doing a really good job against these outside runs. BenU has had much more success running the ball between the tackles today, which with the 2 kind of scat back tights they have, you wouldn't really expect that to be the case.
Now, a key 3rd and 5. Vallis is to the high side. You've got Walker to the near side. Looking underneath, complete. Vallis first down at the 40.
And that same route he's run, that little quick slant route or that quick in, about 8 yards down the field, he's making a living off that today.
So again, eating the clock, moving the ball down the field. This is just what this team needed here in this 4th quarter with a lead. Now, the nice thing about looking to the sideline, again, Fleming and Vallis no longer sitting. They're actually just standing with their teammates along the sideline. As long as they're walking around and standing, that's a very good sign, at least for next week. Hand off up the gut, Miles. Miles trying to move that pile. Look at that. He is a hard runner, just a hard-fought 2 yards.
But the Warriors on the tackle led by Jim D'Angelo.
So watch that again. Well, you just cannot get him to go down. Boy, Aurora scored again. Now they were losing, and now they're leading Concordia, Wisconsin by 10, 31-21 in the 4th. And Hope scored again. They're leading Rockford 31-0. Lakeland continues to lead Concordia, Chicago 41-0. 2nd and long, I formation. Play action. Throws and overthrows Ludolf that time. Couldn't quite get to the sideline in time, and it's 3rd and long.
Good pursuit right there by Wisconsin Lutheran number 42, Andrew Flagel. Doing a good job getting in there, making that play.
Now, Miles will come in with the play. And I would not be surprised if this is another one of those sort of roll out and maybe quarterback runs. Unless obviously someone's wide open.
3rd and 8, so a bit of a ways to go here. You might be in 4-down territory here as well.
I think you're right. He's going to go downfield. Ludolf. Well, Ludolf stopped, and he was going to leap for it, and the ball just kind of sailed on him. And again, the wind is taking it this way. He's still blowing in towards this near sideline.
Some of the fans on the sideline there wanted a flag, but the ball probably wasn't really catchable.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And they are going to elect a punt, which with an 11-point lead might not be the worst idea. Try and pin him here inside the 10.
9.5 minutes remaining as well. So if you pin them deep, and even if they go down and score, they, you'd like to think they would take a lot of time in even doing that. And you'd still have a lead anyway. Going to force the fair catch at about the 12 there by Foster.
Puts him in a pretty good spot for BenU. It's got to make him go 89 yards here down the field if they want to score again. And we've shown Lutheran, we know they can move the football, but they haven't been able to get out of their own way.
Right. But again, have to be happy. Again, you ran about 5 minutes off the clock and pinned them deep, so did a nice job. Now they're deep in their own territory. Throw underneath and incomplete. It really wouldn't have done anything for Norvalis to catch that, frankly, anyway. They just would have lost yards. So that's not quite the pattern that they need. If they're the Warriors, you'll be very happy if they keep running that play if you're BenU.
BenU's done a really nice job against those passes out to the flat today. There's another one right there, completely shut it down.
Second and 10. And diving grab is made, but they really only, again, got about 4 yards out of it, so still going to be a third down at about 6 as they got to the 15.
Another manageable third down for them. They've done a good job of getting themselves into these manageable situations today. And look for Scarbin here. They're the guy they've looked to. He's going to be on the bottom of your screen.
Third down and 6. Tipped at the line and almost intercepted.
Boy, Nico not going to be happy with himself about that, but that's still a great play to be able to tip it almost. He wouldn't be able to walk it to the end zone if he catches this thing.
No one's going to be able to tackle him, I can tell you that. Great play. Fourth down, they're going to have to punt it from inside their own 5.
It's Javon McBride back there to receive the punt.
So great job by the defense to get the ball right back, and certainly Eagles will have good field position. And that one will bounce, and McBride will just let it go. That's fine. And we'll let that one die right about there. And again, great chance for BenU. Run a little more clock and maybe score again for that matter from where they're starting.
Said earlier about Ronnie Nichols being a coach. I know there's Alvin Taylor out there, student assistant coach as well. Alvin Taylor was the left tackle for Ryan Keener last year, and I always thought that was really cool that he had Taylor as the left tackle for Keener, and they were also the left tackle quarterback combination in high school. They both went to the same high school. He did such a good job for us on the line for his 4-year career.
And off, and nice about 4 or 5 yards off the right side on first down. Once again for Miles. Second down, 6 yards to go. Clock continues to move.
Again, they switch off those 2 running backs.
Which is a nice little luxury to have.
Goal might be to get them dead even in carries at the end of the season. That'd be pretty interesting.
Hand off up the middle, and maybe only a yard or 2 more that time for Williams.
Third and 6, and you want to try and run the clock here, but I think they're going to try to throw on this play. Want to keep those chains moving.
Miles comes back in. He'll bring in the play. The one thing they haven't really done is use those 2 tailbacks as wide receivers. They haven't really sent them into a pass play from out of the backfield. They won't here either. As Sample will take it himself, and he has the first down. Still on his feet, 35, and finally knocked out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
That's a big-time play right there from your quarterback. Felt the pressure. Knew he didn't have time to get a pass off. Just took it off and ran, and able to make some plays with his feet.
And again, shows you what kind of a good runner he is. He made the first man miss, and that's half the battle, too. Not like he wasn't going to slide. He was going to keep going. He was going to get some yards and did. It's a big play to keep possession, keep the ball on the move, 34-yard line on first down. Tight end in motion. Hand off Miles. He gets out of the grasp of the first man through and jumps forward and picks up about 6 yards.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be one of the tougher running backs to bring down in this conference.
29-yard line, 2nd down and 5, they say. Most importantly, now inside 6 minutes to play in the football game. BenU out in front, 24-13.
Eagles running a lot of clock here on this drive as well.
Trips to the left. Hand off. And about 2 more maybe. Or Miles. No hurry. Let's face it, you still have 30 seconds on the play clock, so there's really no reason to run a play until you absolutely have to. With this lead here late in the 4th. 3rd down and 4 from the 28. Still have 15 seconds on the play clock. As they come to the line. Hand off to the near side. Williams pushed out of bounds. Just shy of the first down, but again, at probably 4-down territory.
This is a pretty big play here. You get a first down. That not only means you keep the football, but you get to run at least another 3 more plays, which is another, say, about a minute and a half.
No